everyone, welcome to this review for Cobra Kai, which is a TV series on YouTube. You'll need YouTube Premium to watch it, although at the time of recording this, at least in the UK, you can get 3 months free trial. I assume you can probably do that in other countries. Cobra Kai is a continuation from the Karate Kid, the 1984 film, or was it 85? Something around there. And it follows the life of Johnny and Daniel, and they've grown up now. Obviously, 30 years have passed. And it mainly focuses on Johnny's character, obviously, because he's from Cobra Kai and he restarts his dojo. Life hasn't gone particularly well for him, and it's basically shown how he's getting himself back on his feet and reopening the dojo. I find it interesting because they've used in the original concept of a kid being bullied, and then obviously a karate master comes along and rescues him, which is obviously Daniel and Miyagi. But in this case, it's actually Johnny who actually rescues a kid from being bullied and then actually teaches him karate. So the script writers have done a complete 180 on there, making Johnny out to be the good guy. I really enjoyed the show while I was watching it. I was going to do a review after each episode, but the episodes are quite short. In fact, they're varying length. There's no consistency on the episode length. Like, some of them are quite short, some of them are a bit longer. So I just ended up watching the whole thing from start to finish. There's only 10 episodes in season 1. I believe they're working on season 2 at the moment. And there isn't a huge amount of karate in it, to be honest, considering it's based off the Karate Kid film. And while I was watching it, I was actually really enjoying it. But then looking back on it, there are a few silly things, but all TV series are going to have silly things. Like, they're obviously referring back to the original film, but that was like 30 years ago, and I can't remember what I was doing like 30 years ago. And, you know, all these different things and aspects of their life and how Daniel and Johnny interacted with each other, and, you know, they're trying to make up. You know, sometimes like they're enemies and then they're friends again, and then they're enemies again and they're friends again throughout the series. You know, they kind of have this love-hate relationship with each other. But also, to keep it fresh, obviously, there's a whole new generation of kids. Obviously, Johnny's teaching a kid, and he's got his own son, and Daniel's got a daughter and a son, and they're in school. So you kind of have like, they're like the new generation of children, and then you've got the older generation that I grew up with. And it kind of works well together. And obviously, you've got, you know, how the older generation are what they think of the younger generation, and there's a lot more swearing and use of graphic language in this Cobra Kai remake opposed to the original Karate Kid film, because obviously I think that was meant for films, and I think they're kind of assuming that the people who watched the original films have grown up, so and they're now adults, so they're okay with like different language and calling like the younger generation pussies and stuff like that. When it comes to the actual karate, because obviously karate is at its core, as I said, there isn't a huge amount of karate in it. It's more like just what's happening with their everyday lives, and it's like a drama, and then the karate comes into it. Like the final episode 10, they go back to the All Valley karate tournament like there was in the original film. And obviously you see some karate in there, but one issue I had with it is like the guys who go through to the final, you know, they've put black belts on themselves, and then they've got all these wonderful moves and stuff, and I'm thinking realistically they wouldn't have got that good in that space of time. But you know, it's a TV series, you know, you've got to take it for a pinch of salt. It's like a poetic license and all that kind of stuff, you know. And obviously in the original film, you know, Daniel got up to, you know, being a champion in the space of one film. Obviously, you know, it's a long time past, and it's a little bit unclear exactly how much time is passing during the actual film. I feel like sometimes there's like a few days pass between episodes, and other times a few weeks, and then it feels like between some episodes maybe several months have passed. So the progression is quite quick, but there's no real clarity, or at least for me there wasn't, exactly how much time is passing between each episode. So maybe they do progress for a long time, but it is definitely all in the space of, you know, at least one school year. So to get from a complete novice to black belt champion in that amount of time is a bit unrealistic. But as I say, it's a TV show. It is supposed to be unrealistic. They're not claiming to be a documentary about how karate works or anything. I mean, there are some very silly moments in it, and you've got to allow for that. So I actually felt that Johnny's character actually became quite likeable, and Daniel's character was he's actually a little bit annoying, to be honest. He runs a car lot. He sells luxury cars, he sells used cars, he's got a car garage. Basically, it seems like his garage, whatever it is, does everything all in one. But he just strikes me as irritating. He really does. Like, he's got all the answers and everything, and I don't know, he comes off as annoying sometimes, whereas Johnny, to me, didn't come off as annoying. I often felt like Johnny was the good guy, but the problem is, with Johnny, his character is quite complicated, because at his core, I feel like he is actually a good person. He's just been taught so much crap from the original Cobra Kai school, and so much bad things, that he's trying to reconcile the core of his character with what he's been taught and what he's trying to live by, and so he's quite a complex character, I feel, and he's played well. Whereas I just feel like Daniel's just irritating. Then you've got all the kids and story. It's like two separate storylines almost. You've got the storyline of Daniel and Johnny, and then you've got the storyline of the kids in the school and their progression through karate, through the Cobra Kai. So it is almost like two completely separate entities, but they're kind of blurred together and meshed together. One criticism I have of it, and they did this a few times throughout the storyline. It's like the script writers thought, well, maybe if a character sees or hears something, but without getting the full facts, and then they assume the worst, and then that can develop a new storyline direction. And they did this several times throughout the series, and it's just like, okay, you've done it once, okay, alright, you've done it twice, and it just feels like, oh, you're doing it again, and again, and it just feels like they're just constantly rehashing the same idea over and over again. Hey, let's get them to overhear something, and then assume something, or see something, and then assume something, and it's just like, nah, you've done this too many times now. You need to just chill out on that bit. Alright, we've done it, we've seen it, okay, you've done that bit to death. How about, next time somebody sees something, they just, I don't know, stick around to get the facts. I don't know, there's an idea for you. So overall, I did find it entertaining. I did enjoy watching it at the time. I did really like it. But looking back, it is a bit daft. It is a bit silly. So take that as you will. If you don't have YouTube Premium, I'm not sure where else you can watch it, but as I said, at the time of filming this, in the UK at least, you can get 3 months free trial, so that's how I've watched it. But I think it is definitely worth it if you're a fan of the original Karate Kid. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I've got other reviews on here. It's the first time I've actually reviewed a TV series, but I've got loads of other film reviews on here, or karate-based film reviews and other things. So check them out. I also do things completely unrelated to this, so go check them out. And I've just realised that I filmed this entire video with my window open, which means you can probably hear the wind. Never mind. Sorry about the poor sound quality, and I'll see you later. Bye.